got it. I said, I got it, 8.0. I was so happy. It was overjoyed, over the moon.
All the things that you manifest will come true. How about that?
Yeah, manifest. People manifest.
Need to let it go. Let it go. Right. Let it go. Hello there for all my viewers. Welcome back to English with Lina. Today I have with me my lovely guest who is also my student. So she has achieved an amazing IELTS score of
8.0 overall.
Exactly. Well done.
Yes.
And
Thank
also
you.
PTE.
83. Yeah, overall.
Yeah, out of 90 in every single
Out of
session.
90.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, so today I will ask a couple of questions about you, about your IELTS learning journey with me and your journey in general, and how have all of these test scores help you in your life. All right. So for the viewers to get to know you, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, absolutely. So hello, English with Lina viewers. My name is Anna, and I was one of Lina's students. We had one-on-one classes in IELTS, and then 1 month later, we had another class in PTE. So I currently live in Australia, in Melbourne. So we did all of our classes online 100%. And we made it through around 6 months in both PTE and also IELTS. And then I was able to achieve my goal score in IELTS and PTE, thanks to Lina and her team. So really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Miss Nguyen. And also thank you for agreeing to this interview as well. Let's get back to how did you know about me and English with Lina?
So we were friends before we started the class. We got to know each other through another friend, and we just hang out as a group during COVID when I went back to Vietnam. And then after that, we still keep in touch, still sometimes message each other, say, how are you? How have you been? How's your life been doing? So we got to know about each other's life and each other's business, like what are you doing? What do you do now? So I know about English with Lina, fully support her. And then I got something to do with IELTS and also PTE that I need to work that through. And then I was searching for help from other centers, but then I remember, I think Lina has a business with English, like helping people to get their goal in IELTS and also PTEs and also in TOEIC. So I said I was talking to her and then asking her if she could help me. And then, we organized time and we spent a lot of energy to work through with each other to get my goal. And yes, that's the whole story why I got to know Lina and also English with Lina.
Lovely. And the thing is that you have a very detailed answer. I don't think they expected that. Anyway, so prior to this, I remember that you got a 7.0 overall back in 2020. That when
correct.
Yeah, like you've been studying in Australia for a bit of time at that time, right? But you got 7.0. So can you tell me a bit about your struggle to elevate your skills back then and prior to achieving this 8.0?
Yep. So back in 2020, it was during COVID. I couldn't go out. We all couldn't do anything. So I need to apply for my visa to stay back in Australia back then. And I was telling myself that, I could do this by my own. And then I self-review everything. Like, I didn't go to any centers at all. I didn't go to ask for any help from outside. So I just did it on my own. And then not really self-motivated. So that's why I tried my best, but still only got 7.0 overall. And my speaking was 7.5. I was the most proud of that. But then the other was like average. But still, I got enough score to get my visa back then. So that's all right. I was struggling with writing the most. And also I got difficulty in listening and also reading because my concentration level was quite low. Even now, actually, it's hard for me to focus more than 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, but after learning, practicing with Lina and her team, my concentration skill got better, actually. And then I was able to complete my listening and also reading and writing tests perfectly as I wanted.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. I think first, like your speaking was like 7.5. It was already quite high. And then now, can you share with everyone what's your speaking score now?
So my speaking score now it was 8.0.
Yeah, well done.
Mm,
So
thank you.
you already like very good with speaking, but then
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that you needed to focus on the question and you
Mm,
need to be more specific. Since you overcame all of that, your speaking score has elevated greatly, right?
yep,
And
absolutely.
for your writing, how you feel when I taught you writing, and I remember that we did a lot of writing exercises, so many homeworks, and we literally cover all possible charts or maps
Mm,
or task two that can appear.
yes, definitely. So before, when I was in uni, I also did a lot of classes in a few centers back in Vietnam to practice IELTS. And during that time, my writing skill, even though I had a lot of practice then, it didn't get better because I was in a class with a lot of people, a lot of students. So actually, the teacher couldn't go on one session with each person. So I didn't actually know what was wrong with my writing, like what was the issue. And then Lina was the one who actually pointed out, oh, actually you got lack of something here. There was something off about this part. And you told me like I didn't have the it's like common knowledge about how to read a chart, how to read a bar graph or something. But I admit it, totally right. But then we attack on that like 100%. We try to fix that, and then somehow I got through it. And yeah, that's what I think the biggest change in my writing. Like I knew what was wrong with my writing in both task one and task two, and then we just keep attacking on it, and then we got the goal, the score that we want.
So honestly, what you needed was the constant feedback, right? Like the feedback
Yeah.
for your individual work, so you know where to work on. So
Mm-hmm.
really, even with our shared classes, we
Mm-hmm.
also have like, let's say if we have 52 lessons, a quarter of it will be for writing. Let's say like 12 to 13 lessons all
Mm.
going to be writing, and the students, they have one homework of writing every single lesson after the writing
Okay.
session, and we all
Yeah.
checked everything. So only when you see what is a good one, where you haven't done well, and how
Yep.
can you work on that, that's when you can
Yes.
advance. I think for
Correct.
anything, right? Not just
Yep.
writing,
Not just writing. Yeah. All skills. Yeah.
not just IELTS as well.
True, true. Apply to any fields in life, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, and also for your reading and listening, I think for reading is more of, yeah, attention span is one thing. And for
Mhm.
listening, I think that, and also your test skills. You had good communication skills. It's not like you
Mhm.
couldn't communicate English. You can hear everything well, you can deliver speeches, but it's just that for listening, what I felt back then was that you couldn't
Mhm.
know how to do the test well. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, like back then, I think I didn't know how the test worked, actually, like how to get a good score in this skill. And then that's why you were there to help me. Like, oh, it actually worked like that, operate like that. So I can get a hang of it and then, yeah, just get through everything. Once you get a hang of it, you just need to keep practicing. So it becomes one of your sets. And then that's it, you're going to nail it at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. Because
Mm.
I always tell my students, like, test is like a ruler to measure your English ability. But at the same time, you need to have the test ability,
True.
right? Like, you can do the test
Yep.
well. Yeah.
Yep.
And you're
Correct.
familiar with the format. And there are things that, like, tips and tricks for you to do, let's say, listening.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, test
Mm.
skills, like the
Mm.
actual ability to take the test well,
True.
to be familiarized with the format is so crucial.
Mm. Yeah, and each person has their own way of doing the test as well. So you cannot just force someone to,
Yeah.
use your own testing skill and then apply to their own tests. Sometimes it will be backfire.
Backfire, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why we need someone to show you the way that you're most comfortable with. That's what I think I found in your team, in you and your team when I study with you and the team as well. Yeah.
That's lovely. I'm happy to hear that we lit up the beacon of hope and really like helped you through all that. So yeah.
Mm.
And for your
Yeah.
writing score, you got 7.0, right?
Yes. It was the highest score that I ever had in writing so far. So, yay me.
Yes, you done well. Like, I mean, next time if you need me, we can even enhance it further, but still.
Well, I actually didn't want to get involved in anything relating to English test anymore. But if I need to, let's keep in touch. Yeah.
I mean, we
So,
keep in touch anyway.
yeah, I
So,
know. I'm joking. I was just joking.
anyway, so let's get back to like the class schedule that we had at that
Mm-hmm.
time. So start with the
Yeah.
IELTS journey. I think it was from
Mm-hmm.
like March to June, right? Like 3 months, right? Three
Three
months about
months.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, March,
Yep.
April, and May.
May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot the month. Anyway, so how many hours did you study per week at that time?
So I remembered back then, because I still need to work full time in the
Yeah.
office, we organize our classes after work. So, but we have like different time zone. So it will be your afternoon, but it will be my evening. And then we study like 3 days per week at first, I think 3 days per week. And then when I got busier with both of my work and my study, we reduced it to 2 days per week, I think.
Mm, I couldn't remember like precisely, but I think it was around 3 days a week and
Yeah,
two
just
hours per
two
day,
hours
right?
per day. Yeah, per
Yeah,
session.
2 hours per
Yeah,
session. And I remember I gave you like crazy amount of homework. I mean, despite all of
exactly.
your hectic workload and everything, I'm the evil one
Yeah.
here. And
That's all right, but that's why I made it. So all done. No holding grudges.
oh no, no, come on. Why would you?
I don't hold grudges.
You
Nah,
got
just joking.
like two set of listening, two set of reading,
Mm-hmm.
or literally full set. So that means
Mm.
on average, you did like 6 sets of listening and reading every week, like almost
Yeah.
5 to 6 sets,
Yes,
right?
and one set of writing, I think,
I think
a week.
around 1.5, or sometimes you gotta redo because like when I
Yes,
I mark your writing, right, I don't
yeah.
just let you go with like if I mark it 5.5, 6.0, I wouldn't just
Mm,
let you like, oh yeah, you fine. I'll tell you what to fix and you have to
mm,
fix it. I think it's coming back to the thing that we talked about before, like
true. Yeah,
it's a lot about like seeing your own mistake and rectifying it by yourself so that you can advance, right?
exactly. Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to keep redoing all the writing. Gosh, what a time.
But it was worth it. You got 7.0. You say your
Yes,
highest
true, true.
score so far.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
it
And for
was it,
your
it was worth it. Yeah, it was
yeah,
worth it.
let's talk a bit more about the homework. So
Yes.
back then, I think I gave you like not just the actual IELTS test, like the
Mm-hmm.
practice test, but
Yes.
also extra homework as well. Can you tell the viewers about those?
Yep. So since if you just keep doing the homework on and on, it will be quite boring. And sometimes the exercises that within the book, like IELTS specific textbooks, sometimes they didn't actually attack on your weaknesses, like fix your weaknesses. So Lina back then and her team came up with a tactics for me. So they gave me a lot of side hustles like watching animations and watching TV series in both British accent and also in American accents. And also, Lena asked me to read along Macmillan's audiobooks as well. So actually, I was the most impressive with the Macmillan ones because it improved my speaking and also my reading in PTE massively. That was really cool. I didn't really know that they had those kind of tactic for students. So thank you for coming up with those strategies for me, for myself. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, English is like literally our second language, right?
Mm.
So we try to learn it both in like a baby way, like you try to
Yep.
be immersed in this language and just
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of input, like listening and try to
Yeah.
speak. But at the same time, we should not neglect like other things like reading, vocabulary, and grammar. So
True.
when I was learning English prior to my studying experience in the UK, so at that
Yep.
time, like I didn't even get 6.0. I was preparing to take my IELTS for the first time. So I
Mm-hmm.
found these Macmillan series like way back then. They're actually 13 years ago.
Wow.
In a library. And I
Yep.
stumbled across it and I was like, oh my God, this thing is so good. Like, what are they doing? And then I created, like, I didn't even know about the term like shadowing at that time. So I listened to the audio. I read
Yep.
the text, like what I told you to do.
Yes.
And I read it out loud and read with my own eyes as
Mm-hmm.
well, of course. And
Yep.
I try to mimic the accent. I try to mimic the pronunciation. I try to mimic the intonation. So
Mm.
I found it like tremendously helpful back then for me to elevate from like someone who didn't know English very well to be able to speak to a certain degree that that native speaker can understand, right?
Yes.
So I
Absolutely.
think it was good even for like beginner or for you
Mm.
now in a much more advanced level. It's still
Yep.
beneficial, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it works like magic to me. I mean, I just practicing it. I keep read along here, listen to the audio, and then try to imitate the intonation and also the pronunciation. Keep up with this with speed. I did it every night after work and also after the class as well. So it just somehow after like 2 weeks, I think everything was just smoother. My reading skill and also my listening and speaking as well. I know when to pause and also how to deliver my sentence. So it gave me so much tips and so much more skills in all aspects, I think.
That's good to hear. Yeah. So
Mm.
that book is very fascinating. So for
Yep.
my lovely viewers, if you want to get the books, the PDF file or giveaway, you can just like comment down below and may create a form so you can fill in so we can send the books to you. All right. Lovely. So let's start to talk about PT since we
Yep.
talk about Macmillans and everything. I think
Yep.
when you listen to Macmillan audiobooks, you
Mm-hmm.
I think especially for your listening, right?
Yes.
Write from dictation, right? So that you can listen
Correct.
and you can write it. Yeah. And can you tell more
True.
about
Yep.
how it helped you in each of the PT session, if you recall?
Yep. So for the PTE right from dictation, there's tips and also tricks to do, but definitely you must count on yourself. You must improve your skills as well. So in write from dictation, you need to type really fast at first and then try to catch all the words. Don't miss anything. So that's why by listening to Macmillan's audios book, yeah, and try to catch the speed of the speaker. Somehow you slow down the audio in right from dictation, like you know what's the meaning of the sentence. And then in your head, you slow down the speed of the audio, and then you got the whole sentence. And you just need to type really fast before your memory fades away. So that's what happened to me, like how Macmillan's audios book helped me in right from dictation and also in read aloud. So at first, I was kind of speaking too fast. When you're speaking too fast, you may make some mistakes, pronounce some words wrong, some mistake that you didn't even notice. So by reading Macmillan's audiobooks, I know when to pause, actually. So I know, oh, I need to pause here, and it didn't actually affect the time and also how I pronounce words as well. So immediately my read aloud skills got so much better. Before I got about like 75 in read aloud. And then after practicing with Macmillan books, I got like 85 or even 90 sometimes. So really good.
Yes, well done. Very
Yeah.
interesting to hear, but it also
Mm,
helps with read aloud and how you pace yourself, right?
mm,
I'm a fast speaker. You also kind of a fast speaker too.
hmm.
So maybe we can overlook that issues, and that can also work for IELTS. Now that I think of it, like some
Mm,
students, they speak so fast, their pronunciation is good, their intonation is great, but because they speak
yeah.
so fast, sometimes the examiner cannot catch all of their words. So that will bring down their pronunciation score.
That's right.
So if you learn to pace it out, like what you just told them, then it can be better, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. And by the way, at first I thought that my issue was that I need to slow down, but then in this IELTS test, I spoke with my normal speed. I spoke so fast as usual because it's the speed that I felt comfortable with. So really maybe different issues for different people. My issue wasn't speaking fast. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of IELTS, in my speaking test, I also keep my speed as I'm usually talk like now, but I still got 8.0. So I didn't think in IEL I got the same issue I got with PTE. So yeah, like
so.
each person has different kind of issues. IEL is also different from PTE, so we can't compare, you know.
Oh yeah, of course. But then I'm just saying like the pace that can be applied for some students who have the same issue. Yeah.
True.
It's really random, isn't it? Like whether the AI can listen to you.
Yeah, it's not human that mark you. Yeah.
Let's come back a bit about like right from dictation. So I think not only can you hear them better, you can also remember, you retain information that you heard in your short-term memory.
Yes, correct.
Better, right?
Yep. So because in Macmillan's books, there's a long story in each audio, yeah. So actually when you read it, you're trying to understand what the story is trying to tell you as well. So by doing that, you kind of following the speed and also understanding the meaning of each sentence. And then when you jump to write from dictation, when they read that sentence, you kind of already understand somehow. It's like instinct in your head. You understand the whole sentence. And then you just need to type each word out because you understand the meaning. Then you got 50% already of the sentence. So you just need to type really fast each word. You got all the words that they want, and the machine will mark you based on the words. That's it.
I'm so happy to hear you say that, and especially when you said at the beginning, like there are tips and tricks in PT, but then you have to improve your skills. That the value I have successfully instilled in you. Yeah, there are tips and tricks, but we gotta elevate our own skills, and the score will reflect that. So for that, it's not like some people say, oh, you got to remember the beginning, it will bring the other half, or you remember the end so that it bring the first half. But I really like what you say. Like you gotta learn that skills, and then you will remember every single word for sure. Right?
Yes. Somehow it just came to your mind because you've been practicing, you listening to the books every day, like really smash it, and then you got the speed. You know how they're gonna speak, and you know the grammar of the sentence, and then you know the meaning because you know all the words within that sentence. And then there you go, you got it. You got the sentence.
Lovely. Yeah. The true value of preparing for any test is that elevating your own skills. I've got to admit it. So for this IELTS test, I mean, I didn't use all of the vocabulary that I learned, but I think I recommended that book to you, right? It wasn't a good fit for you, but it's like amazing for me. Like I love this baby so much. Yeah, so basically I haven't even covered the whole thing, just like this much.
Same to me. But yeah, I admit it. The book show you how to remember words, how to enhance your vocabulary really well.
Yeah.
So if viewers, if you have time and you want to expand your knowledge and expand your vocabularies, this is the right book for you. It's just not for me.
So for people from like 6.0 at least, or more comfortable for 7.0 IELTS overall. Yeah. So that they can comprehend more advanced vocabulary. So for me, is that, like I've told you, I didn't use anything like crazily academic on my speaking test, like just very normal. I think speaking is different because it's about like, can you communicate clearly in a normal conversation, that kind of thing.
And naturally deliver your meaning. Wow.
By the way, we didn't mention the fact that you are a polyglot. You're multilingual. So
Oh, yes.
yeah, we didn't even mention that fact here. Like, oh my God. Like, yeah, so I'm just going to share a bit of my experience attempting
Okay.
to learn the third language. So after that, I want you to share something like more. So,
Okay.
like when I was trying to study for IELTS this time, I learned more of these, like from vocabulary here and
Yep.
from a few from the reading IELTS. Not a lot because there's only a few left that I don't understand.
Okay.
So I brought all of them out. So around, I think I gained around 200 new words, 200 to
Oh,
300. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Um,
Yeah.
and IELTS reading, they do repeat their words sometimes, or they repeat
Yes.
the root words. So it will still be beneficial one way or another. And the thing is that prior to this, I was like, oh my God, I was so arrogant. I was like, I knew like most of it. Why do I need to learn like this extra part? And then I'm like, but what if it's fun? What if it's fun? Treat it like, because I try to study Japanese. So by learning Japanese and by regaining the ability to have fun learning a new language, and do not be afraid of making mistakes, or just I'm so engrossed in it. Like I'm so happy for the fact that, oh, I can learn this one new word. I know this word today.
Yeah.
So I try to apply the same mindset when I learn this like C1, C2 words in English. And I'm like a
Okay.
child. Like I know new things. I'm so fascinated. So
Yeah.
how you feel? Like, I mean, you know, like what, God know 5, 6 languages. Can you share more about that with us?
Oh, yeah. So, actually, since I was a kid, my hobby has been learning languages in general. When I was 12, I studied Chinese Mandarin. And then when I was in university, I started picking up Japanese as well because Japanese has kanji, which is kind of similar to how you write in Chinese. And then I wanted to study Korean as well and also Thai because I watch a lot of dramas and movies. So I got the interest in their languages and cultures. And by studying all of those languages, I figured out that they all somehow link together. If you like the language and you're willing to learn, you're willing to spend time and energy to study it, then you will be able to get a hang of it somehow. It might be longer or shorter, but definitely at the end, you will get it. But you always need to keep it around you, like make it a part of your life. Not just, oh, whenever I go to class, I will study that language. But actually, you need to keep it by your side when you're at home, when you go out with your friends, or make it a part of your life. Because language is like culture. If you don't try to hold on to it every day, it will phase away, it will go away. So if you live in Vietnam and you don't have any more English speakers, for example, trying to find a friend or try to find a group or like a community that speak English or speak the language that you're studying, and then try to practice with them, try to learn the language with them actually. So if you have difficulty, you can ask someone that you know that also study the language. Yeah. So keep it like a part of your daily life. And that's how I learn all the languages that I'm having now. Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
later I want to ask you to speak a few languages, a few sentences. That'd be
Uh-huh.
nice. Anyway, so yeah, everyone, my dear viewers, sign up for English with Lina conversational classes. Where else can you find a better group to practice to learn the culture and everything?
Yes,
Yeah, there you go.
definitely.
Yeah, that right here.
Yeah, and
Anyway,
Lina always like to speak in English, even when you just chit chat with her. So she definitely the go-to person to practice your English.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned it, I try to keep part of UK alive inside me.
Mm, true. Yeah, you need to keep the culture because you live in the UK before, so you want to keep that as a part of yourself. So yeah, that's totally makes sense.
So next is about your learning journey. Since when have you started learning English, and what did you think of the English language when you started learning it at first?
Yeah, so I got same journey as other people. I started learning English since primary school, as everybody does. At first, I wasn't enjoying English, actually. I got bad grades. I was just trying to get over it, like it was not my thing at all. From first grade to the second grade, it was like, I'm just trying to survive here. That's what was in my mind back then. But then, I don't know why, from third grade, everything just got better. Just, I don't know, all the subjects, yeah, not just English. And then I think I met right tutors, right teachers. They showed me the way. They got me more interested in the language. And then I started to watch a lot of TV series in English. And then I got, oh, actually, the language sounds really cool and really good if I can understand everything. And then the culture, American movies make everything flashy and everything looks amazing, look cool. So back then, I was just a kid. I was like a nerd. I was a homebody, still now, actually. And I spent a lot of time at home on computers. So I watch a lot of movies and dramas and also talk shows, interviews in different languages. That's how I picked up all the languages. And then everything started to become better. My grades in English, I knew how it operates and how to remember words. And every day I just keep writing down all the new words and make it part of my life. I need to keep listening to it, to the language, so I won't forget it. Yeah, that's how English becomes one of my best subjects in my school life. Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear it. I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like you started to enjoy studying as a whole since year 3, right?
Yeah.
Not just English. So that's when it's like everything gone up, like the scores and your morale, your own motivation, your intrinsic motivation to study in general. Yeah. Well done. Are there any tips, any methods that you use to improve your English skills?
That's a great question. So I think each person will have different tips and tricks and how they improve their English. But for me, at first, as I mentioned, watch a lot. You need to keep listening to it every day. I have someone speaking in English to my ears. For new words, for vocabularies, whenever I see any new words during my movie time, I will pause and then I write down, I search it because I couldn't bear the feeling of, what is this? I couldn't understand. I need to know. And it looks so cool. I mean, like, especially the long one, how they pronounce it. And also listening to music. That's how people enjoy their free time as well. But also you can study a language by listening to music as well. So the same strategy apply to music. If you listen to a song and then you got new words and then you want to understand the song better, you need to look it up. You need to write it down. If you want to enhance your vocabulary like to another level, maybe talk show and interview would be better because they will speak in normal tones and then they will add jokes as well. So you know the cultures and you know how they communicate in their daily life, not just like strictly just movie line. Yeah, I think that's how I learn all the languages. Yeah.
Very comprehensive. So I think I summarize the key learning methods that you have mentioned. And also I recommend one of the show that you talk about that have like more natural conversation. I'd say like, talk shows and also podcast, right? Podcast. Or like our channels, like when we do interview like this, it's like very genuine. Yeah. Anyway, so we have like a show called Modern Family. I suggested it to you, right? It has like 20 accents of, I mean, it's all American, but like of younger people, older people, male, female, from different ages, like children, teenager, to like young adults and older adults, right? So you can hear all of those accents from different age ranges.
And the series is funny as well, so you can enjoy it while you're studying.
So I summarized your learning method, and I think it applies very well to my personal English journey. So first we have like immersion, that kind of like being immersive, just all English surround you. And then special memory, like create some special memory for that one thing. For like when you watch a TV show and then you see this new word and then you pause, you search for that. I think you can learn it better because you know the context. You know the context that is applied And because you took your time to pause your very enjoyable show to search for it, that moment can more likely to be stored in your long-term memory, I think. Create those special connection. And music, I think a lot of it, not just like searching for the meaning and understanding all the lyrics like thoroughly, but also the fact that we listen to music, it is like repetition, right? It's repetition in a sense. And the words, the pronunciation, everything just gonna come to you because you keep repeating it and that's your favorite song. So I think it's very, very beneficial. And one more thing is that what I have heard from you is more like a mix of both, like active and passive learning. Like, yeah, you enjoy the music, you enjoy the show, but at the same time, okay, I'm going to take notes. So it's active, like you're actively taking in the information.
Correct.
And like even with like trying to listen to videos and radios all the time. Yes, it's passive in a sense, but also active because you schedule for you to have this thing like every day or something like that, right?
True. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I want people to enjoy the language, not make studying a language a torture, but also like a hobby. Like you're enjoying it while you're studying it. No one forcing you, but you need to actually grow into it. That's how I improve in all languages that I'm having. Yeah.
That's one of our core value as well. Like we try to make sure that our students like just enjoy studying, and we hoped you did, right? Had fun with studying.
Of course, definitely I did. Yeah.
And do you have any advice for people who are struggling with English?
You need to figure out how you can study better because you have your own way of taking in information and knowledge. So find the way that you're most comfortable with and apply it to all the subjects that you need to study and figure out the issue. At first, don't just, I'm just gonna be like a hardworking bee and then I just need to do a lot of homeworks blindly. You need to know what's your issue first. So do all the exercises at first and then evaluate it or ask someone to give you feedback. If you can't find the answers, always ask for help if you cannot do it alone from your peers or teachers, seniors, from your parents. So ask for help if you need, and then try to find the issues, try to find the way to fix it, and then you will improve.
I think you kind of cover all the things that we do, right?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So in our center, like the thing is that when you try to figure out on your own, maybe like you mentioned, you don't know where you're at, like you're just trying to be so hardworking and you just try to find it, but then you cannot find it by yourself because it's difficult for you to see your own mistakes and also because of your limitation in the language. Like if I try to assess my own Japanese, I mean, good luck doing so. So the thing is, so like here we try to tailor, even though we have like a shared classroom or especially in 1-1, but also in like a bigger classroom, we try to tailor all the lessons and everything to the individual need of every single student. And we also have like TA to support. And if they need anything, we like the coach together with them to find the right path for them, for the whole class as well. So you mentioned a lot of helps from different people. So in our classrooms, like all the students are allowed to have fun together, and then they really do. Like they have a lot of fun. I mean, you enjoy the one-on-one, so maybe you don't know this kind of experience. But in bigger classroom, like they can share, they can exchange ideas, and they can do a lot of group work. They feel very free to ask and ask each other and work on projects together. And also like teachers are always there, always available to guide them and also to help them when they need helps. And I think come back a little bit about like when you know your own issues, like you just mentioned, and you can diagnose it, right? So if you don't know your own issues, you cannot overcome it. So back to like your writing back then, right? When you wrote like so many papers, but they weren't checked properly or they weren't being checked to begin with. So like here we checked like literally all of your essays, right? And also we checked
every single word and every single sentence got reviewed in my writing, and also how I elaborate ideas as well. So really detailed. That's what I got from Lina and her team. And also, the most fascinating fact that I found from your class was you guys even like a psychologist. I like in therapy. I
Yeah.
mean, because I think a lot of people can resonate with me in this point. Whenever you get in the test mode, you will be in panic, less or more. So you got nervous, your heart beats really fast, you feel anxious, anxiety attack. I mean, everyone got it. But then what I got from Lina and her team was they know my issue because mentality was thing that I need to improve on back then before I got the test. And then they try to calm me down and then give me exercises like meditation or breathing technique as well. And they give me the mindset to think differently. Like, don't think it's your last chance. You maybe have second chance or third chance. So don't make it too hard on yourself. Like, don't put too much pressure. There's always a way out. Everything will be all right. And then you won't feel that much anxious anymore. And the breathing technique is going to help you when your heart beats really fast, and then try to slow your heartbeat down. That's how I felt before I got into the speaking test in IELTS. Certainly got in panic mode. I even told myself like, oh, if I couldn't get 8.0 this time, I will retake it. I would retake it. I prepare the money, I prepare the finance, I prepare my time to retake already. So don't worry. But still, I jump in that hole again, like panic hole, because I've been practicing breathing technique, meditation. So I'm telling myself, okay, let's breathe. Take time to breathe slowly. So my heartbeat really slowed down back then. And then I went into the room and performed really well. And then I got 8.0 in speaking. So,
Well done.
so mentality and also skills. I know skills are the most important in, try to get your score, because skill only 50%, but then mentality is the other 50%. So you need to work on both at the same time. And what I found from English with Lina is they attack both for you, not just skills. So that's really helpful and amazing from me.
Yes. Thank you very much. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. And the thing is that I'm so happy. Like all the advice I gave you, I applied it this time for my thing as well. Just think of the person as the person you want to talk to, and
as a friend.
Yes, exactly. Not like someone who want to judge you. Because the moment you start thinking they're going to judge you is when you're going to screw up. You're going to meddle with your grammar. You may meddle with your own ideas. You don't know what to say. You may be distracted very easily because like you and me, we don't tend to focus on one thing. So if that disruptive thought is there, like, oh my God, this person is judging me, we can never perform our 100%.
Correct.
How did these amazing scores help you in your career or in your life in general?
By getting my targets in IELTS and PTE also, I was able to apply for a lot of job opportunities in Australia because my field require a high level of English. So by getting 8.0 overall in IELTS, 83 in PTE, I got a lot of response from many employers, good one, in Australia, and also expand my networking as well.
Yeah, I'm so happy as a teacher, first of all, that you have achieved amazing scores on both tests, but also those scores help you practically in your life.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm so glad, honestly.
Thank you.
Can you share what you felt after you received the IELTS result first?
Oh, back then, I got the results quite fast, like just 2 days after I got the test. I was surprised. I mean, I was having lunch with my family, and then I got the text like, oh, the result came out. And then I checked it right away, immediately. And then I was shocked. I was baffled. And then I immediately messaged you and the team, and also messaged my friends. And I told my mom, which is sitting just across the table. And I got it. I said, I got it, 8.0. I mean, I was so happy. It was overjoyed, over the moon. And then right on that day in the afternoon, I went to a salon. I got my hair dyed and then cut. It's like a reward for me, for myself. I mean, yes. And then that's it. Yeah, really happy. Like, finally, after 3 months of hard work, I got it.
Yes. I mean that moment must have felt so good. I can kind of tell, like when you sent
Mm,
me the text, I was overjoyed for you as well, like 8.0.
mm,
Well done.
mm,
Um, and oh, we didn't cover this. Basically, at that time, I also got 8.0, but I taught you and
mm.
another student to get 8.0 personally, and like feedback from other students as well. They say that
Yes.
I give my student everything that I have. So literally, like if I'm 8.0, all the knowledge that I have, that I know as of that moment, I give it all to you. And I never stop doing that. And even you
Yes.
get 8.0, I'm feeling so happy for you. I didn't feel inferior even one bit, right? So how you
Totally
feel
agree.
about that? Like, did you feel like I gave you my own when I was teaching you?
Yeah, so absolutely agree because I know how hard it is to focus on each individual, like find out what's their problems and how you as a teacher, as a instructor, be able to help them. And each person is different, so it's even harder and it takes time because you need to analyze each person and then come out with strategies for each one. I know it's time consuming and energy consuming, but you have done it all for a lot of your students and myself. So I know you've been give it all out. You spend your time. I know from your panda eyes back then. I mean, you're busy on your own already, but you still care for your students. So that's really hit me hard and motivate me more. So I need to, give my all out as well because you're doing so as well. You were doing so as well. So we need to do both for ourselves. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Lovely. I'm so happy to hear it from you. Yeah, it's very touching. Yes, it
Mm,
is. And I gave my own, like my energy and my
of
emotion, not just my
course, yeah.
knowledge. Yeah.
Like you care for each student, not just I just want to get this over with, but you actually spend time and energy to,
Yeah. I think I was
come
born
up
to
with
be a teacher.
strategies. You are a great teacher. I have to
Oh,
say, I give you credit, man.
oh, thank
But yeah,
you.
so keep doing what you're doing because you're helping a lot of people, helping more people.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try. Okay, so next question.
Mhm.
What are the difficulties one had to overcome when preparing for, let's say, IELTS test first?
So the first one that everyone would think of is the test skill and how to be familiar with the format. That first challenge can be taught by your teacher, or you can even self-teach yourself. But with a guidance, it will be better. And the second one, as I mentioned, is the mentality. Is the panic that you're having when you're taking the test and the lack of balance between your physical health and your mentality. Because when you're stressed, you feel fatigue, feel burnt out, it will affect your performance. They all relate to each other. And a lot of people don't actually notice this health issue that they're having when they practicing or preparing for the tests. They're just focusing on, oh, I need to improve my skills. But actually, your body is draining out, but you don't know. So what I get from my experience is you need to take care of both your skills and your physical health by maybe doing yoga or Pilates, hit the gym, or even just go for a walk every day. And then when you get back to practice to prepare for your test, you will feel less burden and you feel less stressed. And everything you learned from your teacher will gradually get into you. That's
Need
what,
to let it
yeah.
go. Let
Yeah,
it
let it
go.
go.
Right.
Oh.
Let it go. I totally agree with you. I want to emphasize a little bit more on two things. First is
Mm.
like the mindset of not be able to make it. It's like on top of my head every single IELTS test prior to this one.
Mm.
This one I walked in, I was like, just focus on whatever that is in front of me. I don't care about whatever I'm gonna get. So the feeling of not able to make it, I think, is very common among young students or even like adults like us now, right? Next, we have like the body and mind connection. I think this is so true. I had to admit that I'm guilty of it. For this test, I was a bit I was stressed at some point. And then I realized that it was because I skipped all my karate classes. So I think that I used to do karate to improve my health, and I felt great. Any time when we're so busy with work or with studying or preparing for a test or anything similar to that, I think I would highly recommend the thing that you just said, really. Like, you need to do some sort of exercise to have this body and mind connection.
Yeah, but I know that it's quite challenging to maintain your physical health when you're stressed, because when you're stressed, people tend to slack off.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything. I'm too tired. But actually, by not doing what you've been doing, like hit the gym or do your karate class, like what you've been doing, that makes you feel more fatigued, feel more tired.
I think it's a vicious circle that you need to break out of. Like you say, you keep being tired, and then that affect on your own work or studying results, and then that will in turn make you even more fatigued, more exhausted, and all that. So once you can bring like physical well-being in, I think it's gonna change the whole game, right?
True.
Would you share some tips or advice for our audience who care about IELTS or PTE, like in general, like just general tips and advice to conclude?
Yeah, so general tips for both IELTS and PTE, I would say you need to focus on what you want to achieve, set a goal. I don't know if it's 7.0, 6.0, or even 8.5, but set a goal so you have something to thrive to. And then set a plan on how to get it. Because if you're doing anything without plan, you won't be able to know what you need to do. And then just start doing it right away. Don't just wait for anything. The moment you got your plan, you got all the details within that plan, start to do everything, reaching out to people, get the materials. And really, once you get on the journey, you need to actually focus, give everything out, your energy and your time, and then you will be able to get it. And then confidence is also important as well. Manifestation, always believing that you can do it and you will be able to do it. Yeah.
Yes, I have to say that I agree with it, actually, because this time I was fully confident. At some point, I knew for a fact that it's going to be 8.5. I mean, if not, it's fine, but like it's both. Like, yeah, if you get it, you know you will get it. But if you don't, it's fine. That kind of comfort that you have for yourself. Yeah, but also try to believe in yourself. Always trust that, I'll be able to do it. I can do it. Yeah. So everyone, if you want to know more about my 2 to 2.5 plan to prepare for this 8.5 test, just write your comment down below and make another video about it. So Miss Anna, do you have any last word for our viewers?
Yes, what I've been telling you in the last questions, just keep doing what you're doing. You need to believe in yourself, focus, try to find out what's the issue. If you're preparing for your IELTS or PTE exam, you need to know what's the issue first, and then you work on the plan, you work on the strategy, on how to fix it. Ask for help if you need. Lina and her team is always here. They can help you to get to your targeted scores. And believe in me that after you get your target scores with Lina and her team, you would definitely improve something else, like your mentality, your confidence, and your speaking as well. And you can expand your networking. You can transfer from introvert to extrovert after this. That's what I think I'm becoming an ambivert. Actually.
Lovely. Yeah. Just for the record, I'm an ambivert as well. I'm not an extrovert myself, but yeah, I've been through that journey. So like we have talked about, whatever I have, I'll give it my own. So thank you very much, Miss Ngân, for like having this interview today. And
thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure to be featured in your YouTube channel. And I hope that English with Lina will become more successful in the future as well.
Thank you so much, and I hope that all the best of luck and all the things that you manifest will come true. How about that?
Yeah, manifest. People manifest.
Thank you, everyone. Bye for now. See you in my next video. Bye.